Everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And for today's review, I'm going to be taking a look at the brand new DC Comics Multiverse 6-inch DC Rebirth Batwing figure from Mattel. Now this figure comes packaged in the same style packaging we see with all the DC Comic Multiverse figures. You've got the box with the black and red highlights. Up at the top you've got the DC Comic and DC Comic Multiverse logos. The figure's clearly displayed in the window box. Down below you have some artwork for the character and the name, and it tells us this comes with a piece for the Rookie or Batbot Collect and Connect figure. Off to the side you've got more artwork for the character and a brief bio in multiple languages. And on the back of the packaging you have a look at all the figures in the wave that you need to get in order to complete that Rookie Batbot Collect and Connect figure. Alright, let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging along with the other contents. Now first of all, this figure comes with the arms and the pistol for the Batbot Rookie Collect and Connect figure, and I'll be taking a look at the Rookie figure in its own review once we've looked at all the figures in this wave, so be sure to check back for that. The only other accessory this figure comes with is his wings, and this is done with one solid piece of thin plastic. There's really no paint applications on this. It's done with just a black plastic. You've got the two pegs that will fit on the back of the figure, so he's got the two holes here. He's got a bigger peg on the top and a smaller peg on the bottom. Now you don't actually have to plug in the smaller peg if you don't want to, so you can kind of position the wings however you want, but if you plug in both of those pegs into the holes, then it won't really move. So it's really kind of up to you how you want to do that. And then there's no articulation on the wings, it's just one solid piece. For the figure itself, this is a pretty basic looking figure, but looks pretty true to how the character appears in the comic book. So he's got this helmet that looks like an armored type helmet with the Batman type ears. And I like how the eyes look. You've got that kind of silver paint with some bluish purple around the edges of the eyes, and that matches the same paint that's on his chest with the silver on the bat symbol, which is sculpted, and then you've got this almost neon purple blue color around that, so it makes it kind of stick out nicely. The rest of the figure is very basic. It's just got this black kind of glossy type paint throughout the figure. You've got some sculpting detail here on the waist area, and then you've got some line work here on his chest and up here on his neck and everything. And then, as I mentioned before, the wings are just a solid black type plastic with some line work sculpted in there. He's got some sculpting here on his gloves. But overall, like I said, this is a very basic looking figure, but also pretty true to how the character appears in the comic books. So this figure stands, if you count to the tips of his ears, just about 6.5 inches tall. And then his wingspan, the wingspan on this figure is about 8.5 inches. And here's a comparison with a couple other Mattel DC Multiverse Batman related figures. So we've got the Damian Wayne Robin figure, then we've got the Burnside Batgirl figure, the Jim Gordon Batman figure, and the Greg Capullo Joker figure. So for articulation, it's pretty standard with what we see with most of the Multiverse figures. You can turn the head to the left and to the right. He doesn't really have much in the way of down movement. He can look back about that much. It would be nice, being this is a character who flies, if you could get the head back a little bit more for flight poses. Arms are attached with your standard ball hinge joint at the shoulder, so he can get his arm out about that much. And then he's got good rotation there at the shoulder. He has a bicep swivel, only has a single hinged elbow, so he can bend his elbow about that much. Then he has rotation at the wrist, but no hinges on the hands. He does have an ab crunch type joint, so he can crunch down about that much. And then he can look back pretty good, so that helps with the flight poses at least. Then he does have a waist swivel. Legs are attached with those side hinge joints, so he can do the splits about that much. And he can get his leg forward that much, and he can do his leg back pretty good as well. He's got a thigh swivel down low. He's got a single hinged knee, so he can bend his knee about that much. And then hinges on the feet, so up and down movement with the feet, but no ankle pivot and no rotation. And then two peg holes on the bottom of it. One thing I do want to caution, it looks like these knee joints are using a very thin plastic, so I would be careful when you're bending the knees on this figure. It looks like you might be able to easily snap that off if you're not careful. Okay, so that's my review. Overall, I would say this is a pretty basic looking figure. I'm not super familiar with the Batwing character, So I can't say I know a whole lot about him, but this seems to look pretty true to how the character appears in the comic, so no real complaints there. A little better articulation would be nice, again with the head and everything for flight poses would be pretty nice, but otherwise, like I said, this seems to do a pretty good job of capturing the character's appearance from the comics. So if you're a fan of the character, I think this is one you'll want to check out. Now this figure is available now. We'll have a full image gallery up at toynewseye.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. As always, leave a comment, let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. Also, please hit that subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it. You can also follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. I have links to those in the video description as well. And until next time, I'll catch you later.